morning everybody, and welcome to Thursday's maths lesson, and today we are going to look at making doubles. This follows on from our making equal groups, because to double something we need two equal groups. Double means there are two of something. So making doubles, White Rose Maths video will help you to start to understand how we double numbers. So watch the video before carrying on. So if we double something, we need to add the same amount that we already have, because to double something means there are two lots of them. So if we add the same amount, we make two equal groups. So let's have a look. We have one strawberry. We are going to add the same amount that we already have. So if we have one and we add one more, we have two strawberries. If we needed to write this in a sentence, we would write double one, which is the number that the amount that we started with. We added another one to make two. Double one is two. Let's have a look at this in a part-whole model. So we started with one. And to double something, we need two lots of them. So we need two lots of one, or two equal groups of one. And together, that made two. Let's try another sentence. How many counters are in our 10 frame? 5. Well done. So we are doubling the number 5. We started with 5. We're going to add another 5, because to double something we need two groups of the same amount, two equal groups. So 5 add 5 equals 10. So double 5 is 10. And the 10 frame represents the two equal groups of 5. We have our first 5 red counters, and we have doubled it using the yellow counters to show the additional 5 that we added. So again, let's have a look at this as a part-whole model. To double, we need two equal groups, and we are doubling 5, so we have two equal groups of 5, and together 5 add 5 make 10. Let's try another one. What number does our dice represent? 4. Well done. So we are doubling 4. So double 4 is, what do you think we will see in our next box? How many dice will be in the box? And what number will the dice represent? So remember, to double something we need two lots of that number. We need to make two equal groups and add the same amount. So 4 and another lot of 4 equals 8. Our number sentence will be 4 add 4, or our written sentence will be double 4 is 8. So let's have a look at our part-whole model. How will that look? What number will be in the bottom boxes? What number did we start with? 4. Well done. And how many equal groups? One equal group of 4. Two equal groups of 4. So we need another 4. And 4 add 4 equals 8. Now we're going to look at this table to represent our double in different ways. So in our double column, it says double 1. So we're going to look at the different ways we can represent this. So double 1 is an easy question. We start with 1, we add another 1, just like our strawberries, and our 10 frame if we represented it with a 10 frame, will look like this. The red counter for our first lot of 1, the yellow counter for our second group of 1. Our addition sentence will say 1 add 1 equals 2. So double 1 equals 2. Let's take a look again. We're doubling 2. And it already shows how we would represent this using our cubes, because we have 2 equal groups of 2. When we double something, we have 2 lots of the same amount, or we add the same amount that we started off with. We started with 2, so we added the same amount again, another 2. So what will our 10 frame look like? How many red counters will be at the top? What number did we start off with? How many yellow counters would we have needed to add the same amount? Well done. We started off with 2, we added another 2. And our number sentence will be 2 add 2 equals 4. Double 2 equals 4. Now I've shown you these to show how we can represent doubling in different ways. We can represent double with blocks and cubes. You can build those if you have cubes in the classroom or at home, or counters or something that can represent your equal groups. But when we look at it in a 10 frame to help us see our doubling groups, we use different coloured counters. So we use concrete, things that we can use, things that we can build and move with our hands and make. And then we have an image to represent our doubles. But when we look at our maths sentences, this is how it will look. 2 add 2 equals 4. Double 2 equals 4. So these are our mathematical answers that we would write in our books. And these are some images of 10 frames to help us represent it. And using cubes will help you build them to show how to make equal groups. So let's try this one. If we had some building cubes or building blocks, we would start off with what we are doubling. We start off with 3. So this is how we would build it. We would have 2 equal groups of 3, because remember, to double something we need 2 lots of them. So what would that look like on our 10 frame if we were to draw the image? How many red counters would we have? And how many yellow counters would we have? Well done if you've got that. So what will our mathematical sentence, our number sentence, say? What number did we start with? What number are we doubling? How many would we add to that number? And what would be our answer? 3 add 3 equals 6. Well done. So double 3 is 6. So here we are doubling 4. If we were to build that with our cubes in class, this is how it would look. We would have 2 equal groups of 4. And if we represented that with an image in our 10 frame, how would it look? How many red counters would we have? How many yellow counters would we have? Well done. So what will our math sentence say? 4 add 4 equals 8. Fantastic if you got that. So double 4 is 8. Double 4 equals 8. Now, can you spot the mistake in my table? Have a look at what we are doubling in the last column. Double 5 equals 10. Let's take a look at our number sentence. 5 add 5 equals 10. Is that right? It is. Well done. What about our 10 frame, our visual picture to represent 5 add 5? And what about if we built 5 add 5? If we used our cubes in the classroom, would it look like that? How many equal groups of 5 do we need when we're doubling? Well done if you got that. If we built 5 add 5 with our cubes or our counters in class, it wouldn't look like that. There are too many cubes. We are doubling 5, so there should have only been 10 cubes altogether. 2 equal groups of 5 to represent our doubling sentence. That was a tricky question, so well done if you spotted the mistake. Now your first task today is going to be to match the number sentences. You can either write the double and the number down and then write the correct sentence, or you can write it out like me and draw lines to match the correct sentences. It's up to you which way you want to do this. So double 3, which one in this column represents double 3? You can either write the answer next to it or draw the line to the correct answer. So pause the video to start writing your questions down. Then your second task is to complete the sentences. So double 15 is, you could use the blocks like we looked at in our table, if you have lots of blocks at school or at home, or counters, or you could draw a 10 frame or a part whole model to show how we double. So if we had a part whole model, in our bottom circle we would put our number 15. What would be in the next circle opposite? And then what number would we put in the top of our part whole model? So there are lots of different ways you can do to figure out double 15. But look at the bottom two questions. We already have the answer. We need to know what we doubled to make those numbers. So there you need to think about your equal groups. What do we need to do with the numbers to find out what we doubled? Double something is 8. So if we had 8 cubes or 8 counters, how many equal groups do we need to share that into? Have a look. Pause the video and write down your answers. This is my challenge question today. So, double the amount shown will give an even number. Is that true or false? Explain how you will know. So how many bears do we have altogether? Then you need to double your number. Do you think that will give an even number? Have a think at what it might be and see if you can guess whether it will be an even number before you work that out. Then work it out to check your answer. But before you do, explain how you know that it will give an even number. What number do we have to start with? And if we double that number, will it still be an even number? Now remember what an even number is and think about our equal groups when you look at this challenge question. But good luck, and I'd love to see all your work on Tapestry. See you all soon.